You are PCSing to Robins. You got orders, but no clue where Robins is even at, what it's like there. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. My name is Mischa Thompson, your favorite Warner Robins real estate agent and also military spouse. I've been where you have been before. I PCS from Ramstein to Whiteman, from Whiteman to Robins in 2019. I was looking for all kind of information about schools, surrounding area, what to do, what not to do, the weather, and couldn't really find anything. I made a couple of videos over the last couple of years I've been here. Now I've been here for 4 years. I wanted to do a video about the important things you are probably looking for and you need to know for moving here to Robins. So let's go. Let's start with the location. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all went to Google first to figure out where Robins Air Force Base is. That is sure what I did because I had no clue. I knew it was in Georgia. I've been to Georgia. Honestly, I only have been to Atlanta and only to the airport. I knew it was in Georgia and I wanted to figure out what is around there. Where can I go? Where is something to do? And where the heck is Warner Robins? It is straight up in the middle of the state in central Georgia, right there. Centralized in Georgia, about 2 hours south of Atlanta, depending on the traffic, because Atlanta traffic, if you've ever been there, is horrible. Luckily, the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport is on the south side of Atlanta, so it's closer to Warner Robins and Robins Air Force Base. So if you have to fly anywhere internationally or domestic, it is not as hard to get there. It takes you about 1 hour and 45 minutes, but even the 2 hours to Atlanta are great for weekend trips up to Atlanta, visiting Coca-Cola Museum, the aquarium, the city itself, and all the stuff that is up there perfectly fine. The 2 hour ride up there. You are 2.5 hours away from the east coast of Georgia with all the beaches, Tybee Island, Savannah, definitely a place you want to check out when you're here. And if you want to go to Florida, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Eglin Air Force Base, or even Orlando, you just take I-75 straight down south and you are in Orlando within 5-6 hours. With its central location in Georgia, Robins Air Force Base is awesome if you want to explore. While we talk about location, let's see where Robins Air Force Base is actually within Warner Robins. It's on the east side of town, right on 129. That's pretty much where all the gates are on. You have to travel 129 at least once a day, and it could be a little bit difficult depending on time of the day. Rush hour, it is a little bit packed. 129 leads you all the way to Macon and all the way down south to Kathleen. Then you got I-75, which is the main connector north to south, and then from west to east towards base, you got Watson Boulevard, Russell Parkway, and Highway 96 that all lead from 75 to 129 towards base. That is pretty much where Robins Air Force Base is located within the city. So if you are on the west side of the city, your traveling time will be significantly longer than being located in the Bonaire, Kathleen area on the east side of Warner Robins. Let's talk about the climate next. I know for a fact a lot of people want to know, what is it like at Robins Air Force Base weather-wise? Especially if you were stationed at Minot right now, you want to know, are the winters as freaking cold as they are here at Minot? Let me tell you, they're not. We do have a subtropical weather, which means we got hot and humid summers and fairly warm winters. When I say hot and humid summers, humidity is really an issue, or it is really present. Our average summer temperature is 88 degrees with a humidity of 70 to 80%. It can reach 104 to 107 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. And that's pretty brutally warm down here with the humidity. You're sweating for no freaking reason, let me tell you that. When it comes to the winters, if you have been in Minot, you have been at Whiteman or any other base where it's a little bit colder during the winters are very mild down here. I mean, we fairly get below freezing. Last year, it was a little bit different. We did have a couple of weeks where it was really, really cold. Not as cold as in Minot or anywhere up north, but it was cold for Georgia standards. We fairly dipped in the 30-degree range, but it could happen. Nevertheless, my favorite season is actually fall and spring, because during fall and spring, we're looking at like a nice 75 degrees with almost no humidity. That is what the climate will look for you PCSing down here to Robins Air Force Base. Before we move on with the next one, I want to point out that in the description below, there's a link to an ebook that I created. You can download it, you can read it online, you can print it, whatever you want to do with it, you can do it. But I wish I had something like that when we PCS to Robins Air Force Base, so I created an ebook for all of you all. It's completely free. Check it out in the description below and let me know what you think of it. Let's move on to another important topic, which is the housing options. And everyone needs to live somewhere when we PCS to a new base. It's just the way it is. There are on-base housing options for sure. Robins Air Force Base has base housing. You will be probably put on a waiting list like on every other base. The housing options on Robins Air Force Base are not as modern as on other bases, but they have options. So contact the housing office and see what your options are based on your rank and how long the wait time is and where on the waiting list you would be. If you want to live off base, there are the options of renting or you are purchasing a home. When it comes to renting right now, we're looking at almost $1 or pretty much $1 per square foot in rental price, which means if you have a family of 4, you want a 4-bedroom home with like 2,000 square foot, you probably are paying $2,000 per month in rent. If you are looking to purchase a home, the median home price currently in the Warner Robins area is at $257,000. That is one of the cheapest places to live in all of Georgia. Warner Robins is a little bit over 20% cheaper than the national average when it comes to home prices. If you're looking to purchase, make sure you do your research online. Most people that I work with that PCS to Robins Air Force Base, they already know exactly where they want to be. They did their research online. They have a specific school district they want to be in. And I did a video about the schools here if you want to check that out as well. They came prepared. If you have not done the research at all yet on housing, you can contact someone in your squadron to see where they live, what they think, and see what their opinion is about the different areas. The most desirable areas over the last 2 years for military families was just Bon Air and Kathleen due to the close proximity to base. If you want to look up some houses in those areas, make sure you check out all the websites. I put my website in the description below as well, so you can figure out what style of home, if you want to rent, if you want to buy, which area, which schools you want to be in, and then start that process from there. Nevertheless, there are multiple options for you. If you PCS to Robins Air Force Base, you can definitely live on base. You can definitely rent a property in the Warner Robins area depending on your price range and availability. Rentals have been very, very rare recently, or you can purchase a home if that is what you want to do. Let's talk about another very important thing: schools, education, and childcare when PCSing to Robins Air Force Base. If you have kids and you PCS with those kids, you got to figure out, where am I gonna put those kids? Which school are we gonna go to, and where are we gonna rent or buy a house that they are in those specific schools? Well, Warner Robins has a variety of options. Perry has a variety of options. There are a bunch of public schools, private schools. When it comes to daycares, there are 2 CDCs on base. There are a bunch of daycares off base that you can choose from. I know from a personal perspective of our move, we wanted to get our kid in the CDC on base because one of the CDCs was right there where my wife has to drive by every day to work. But we were on a 3-month waiting list and we couldn't wait that long. We did our research online to figure out which daycare would be the perfect fit for us. And there are a bunch of them. So if you're looking for daycare and you cannot get into the CDC on base, look at reviews. Look what other parents say. Ask your colleagues in your squadron or your husband's or your wife's squadron to figure out where they sent their kids, what their experience was, because that is very important. When it comes to the school system, it really depends where you live and which school district. Is your kids into sports? Maybe Warner Robins High School would be the right one because they are absolutely amazing at sports. So talk a little bit with your squadron, with people that already live here, neighbors in neighborhoods that you are looking into purchasing or renting a home, and see what their experience is to figure out what the best fit is for you. You also can check out niche.com and greatschools.org and other platforms online to see what the ratings of those schools are. I did a video about the schools if you want to check that out, because I want to provide you the best information possible to make this PCS move as easy and smooth as possible. possible. Next on the list is medical and healthcare facility. There are a bunch. One of the biggest employers in Houston County, where Robins Air Force Base is located, is Houston County Health. We got a hospital in Warner Robins. There are multiple clinics around the city, and most likely your spouse is probably getting referred off base to a doctor, not on base. You probably will be seen on base, but your spouse and your kids are probably being seen off base. That's apparently what we have to go through, so I assume you have to go through the same thing. Just want to point that out. Could be different, but we have it the way that I and the kids have to go off base to a doctor, and my wife sees an on-base doctor. If she needs a specialty doctor, then she's referred off base. So there are multiple medical facilities. Houston County Health is a great place. They have great doctors from all over the world. So when it comes to healthcare, hospitals and clinics, on base as well as off base, the Houston healthcare system is one of the best in the state of Georgia. And if you don't like the doctor that you were assigned to, there are ways around it. You can switch doctors. We just can go to a new one. That's possible. Nevertheless, healthcare here at Robins Air Force Base is phenomenal. So don't you worry there. One of the biggest questions I always get when working with military families PCSing to Robins Air Force Base is, how's the job market? Are there any employers? Are there any job openings? I know there are a lot of mill-to-mill families moving to the area, and they don't have that issue because they are employed. But some of them have a civilian spouse. Let me tell you, there are a bunch of opportunities. Warner Robins has Houston County Health, which I mentioned before. They are one of the largest employers in the Houston County area. There's Frito-Lay's, the chips company, yes. Coca-Cola is not far away, a distribution center of Amazon as well. Beef jerky, no, Jack Link's is actually building a beef jerky factory in Perry, Georgia with 850 employees. So there's an opportunity there. There's a German company that does filtration system fabrics, Sandler, in Perry. They're always looking. There are job opportunities as well as on base. I mean, Robins Air Force Base is one of the largest employers in the state of Georgia. It is the largest industrial complex in the state. And not only on base, some civilian jobs, but all the military contractors that are located around base, like Boeing or Northrop Grumman, they're always looking. So if you're looking for a job after PCSing to Robins Air Force Base, you probably will find one that suits you. Let's talk about my last point, which I think is very important, and I hope you guys think that as well, which is entertainment and recreation. Because we don't only want to work and sleep and live somewhere, we also want to play in the area that we live. And Warner Robins has a bunch to offer. There's Rigby's Entertainment Center, which is a water park that is amazing. They have laser tag, arcade games, a roller ring, pool, bowling alley, putt-putt, go-kart track. So this is a huge entertainment complex in Warner Robins. There are a bunch of parks and trails that you can visit, a lot of golf courses in the area. So if you are playing golf, and I know most of the bases actually have their own golf course, not only does Robins Air Force Base have a golf course, but within a 15-mile radius of Warner Robins, there are 14 different golf courses you could play. There's not only that outdoor recreational aspect of Warner Robins with hiking, cycling, walking, fishing, golfing, kayaking. There are also festivals around Warner Robins and in Warner Robins all year long that you can visit. For example, in Macon, they have the Cherry Blossom Festival, the Fair in Perry, the International Festival in Perry, a food truck festival in Perry, multiple concerts around the area that you can visit and be entertained all year long. You just gotta get out and do it, and maybe drive 15 to 25 minutes, but that is not that bad. Go out and enjoy. Not only do you have the recreational stuff and the festivals, but there are movie theaters on base and off base and restaurants. Yes, if you are foodie, Warner Robins is named the International City. According to multiple sources online and my gatherings over the last 4 years, this is because Warner Robins has foods from all over the world. There are restaurants from all different kind of countries. There is all kind of things for everyone out there. You just gotta get out. This was my little video about PCSing to Robins Air Force Base, and I think those were the 6 questions that I had when PCSing with my family to Robins, and those are the questions I get a lot with my clients that PCS to Robins Air Force Base and use me as the real estate agent. If you are PCSing to Robins and have any other questions that I may not have answered in this video, put it in the comments below. If you have any other questions, my contact information is in the description below. Give me a call, shoot me a text or email. I'm more than happy to help and answer any question you have to make this PCS move as smooth as possible for you. And don't forget about the ebook that I created, especially for you guys PCSing to Robins Air Force Base. The link is in the description below. It's completely free. It's there to help you make this move as smooth and as easy as possible. If you're PCSing out of Robins Air Force Base, let me know in the comments below what you liked about the area and about Robins Air Force Base. I'll see you in the next one.